Alright. Welcome, one and all, to the Pokemon Sports League official polywow 44 playoff picture predictions. I am your host, polywow 44, coach of the Seattle Seahawks, and I am here to tell you about the state of the playoffs as we have just finished week 4, except for one game that is scheduled to be played later today on the day of recording, which should be the day of upload. And that means there's only 1 week away, and everybody wants to know, are they in the playoffs? What does it take to get into the playoffs? Are they out? Etc. And that's what I'm here to answer. So, the way playoffs are working this year, there are two divisions. There's the Scarlet Division and the Violet Division. In order to make it into playoffs, you need to be in the top 8 of either division, as displayed by the green line shown on each one. Now, what that means is that there are going to be teams that are going to be possibly have a better win-loss or a better differential in, let's say, Scarlet Division that are going to miss the playoff compared to a team with a worse win-loss or differential in the Violet Division that are going to make playoffs. And now with that out of the way, we're going to look at the official tiers of what the playoffs entail. Here it is. And there's a lot of colors, there's a lot going on, so let me break it down for you. Starting off quickly, if you are part of Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Green Bay, Atlanta, Las Vegas, Arizona, or the New York Gigantamax, congratulations, you have made the playoffs. I think there is a slim 99.9% chance for just avoiding the playoffs. There's a 0.1% chance for the Green Bay to miss, but it's almost assuredly in. So if you are dark blue, you should be safe and you should be in. If you are light blue, that means the LA Wild Chargers, the Miami Pelicans, Tampa Bay Sawbucks, Philadelphia Beedrills, Denver Bronzongs, New York Aqua Jets, or the Seattle Seahawks. Congratulations. You can win. If you win, you are in the playoffs. Winning is a guaranteed in. And if you lose, you still have a chance to be in. You can lose and still be in. Often, you'd have to lose only by a little. But you can lose and still be in the playoffs. Next tier is green, inhabited by one man, the Diamond Man himself. Diamond Man is in a funny spot. If he wins, he's in the playoffs. If he loses, he's out of the playoffs. It is a pure fifth. If he wins, he's in. If he loses, he's out. He is surprisingly the only team in the league with that exact condition. Next is yellow. Yellow, which has the most teams, I believe. Yes, it does. Comprised of Carolina Panchams, New England Pat Rats, Houston Texans, Buffalo Buffalant, Indianapolis Colts, Kansas City Charizards, Minnesota Slowkings, Washington Charmanders. If you are one of these teams, you are yellow, meaning that if you lose, you are out. And if you win, you have a good chance of getting in. And it will come down a lot to plus minus, specifically in the Scarlet Division. But you can win, and you can still not be in. But if you win, you have a much higher chance of being in. Then there's the orange grouping, which is the Jacksonville Jolteons, the Cleveland Bidoof, and the San Francisco TM49ers. These are teams that can win, and they'll still very likely not be in. Cleveland Bidoof is a bit of an odd case, along with the New York Aqua Jets previously mentioned in the light blue tier, because they have yet to play their game this week. So this whole thing could drastically change if, let's say, the Aqua Jets lose by a lot this week and the Cleveland Bidoof win by a lot this week. A lot would change. Preferably that wouldn't happen, but scheduling happens. People have to delay, etc. If you are part of the orange tier, with the exception of Fruit Loops, but we're going off the assumption that his plus minus stays rather the same, then you can win. And it'll still be a lot will have to go right for you to get in. You have to win, plus a lot has to go your way. And then lastly, we get to the fattest tier of them all, which is red. If you're part of the Tennessee Titans, the LA Rampardos, the New Orleans Summer Saints, the Cleveland Blitzels, the Detroit Litons, or the Dallas Ball Toys, you are sadly no longer in playoff contention. You have been eliminated from the playoffs. It happens every year. People miss the playoffs. It sucks. But if everybody made the playoffs, what would be the point? So, that is a basic breakdown of the tiers. And so, I will now highlight some specific games in the upcoming week that are of very high importance. My game against Ladner, the Washington Charmanders versus Seattle Seahawks, is obviously has huge implications over the Violet Division playoffs, as Ladner, if he wins by a good margin, almost guarantees himself a spot if he wins by a lot. And a win from me would obviously put me in. It's a very important game. In the Scarlet Division, a game with a lot of implications is the Indianapolis Colts versus the Jacksonville Jolteons. Of course, the Jolteons, as previously mentioned, could win and still be out, and likely will still be out even with a win. But the Indianapolis Colts, if they win by a good margin, they're putting themselves in an excellent spot. Let me look here. I believe there's two more that I wanted to highlight. Yeah, Kansas City Charizards versus New England Pat Rats is another one. Both of these teams are in ninth place in their respective divisions. Both of them need a win to get in. Both of them are on that cusp. And they both really want it. And it'll be interesting because the New England Patriots obviously have a coach that joined the league, I believe, last week as a replacement. So it'll be very interesting to see if they could take over that squad, get the locker room in the right spot, get the mentality right going into the playoffs. It'll help them secure their spot. And I believe, well, there's one more. Let me look this over real quick. Oh yeah, Las Vegas Rose Raiders versus Tampa Bay Sawsbucks. Both the Las Vegas Rose Raiders are already in, but the Sawsbucks have tremendous playoff implications. They are them along with Philadelphia, who actually also has a game I want to highlight, have massive control over who gets in and out of the playoffs. With both of them win, then both of them win, and the door closes on a lot of teams. However, if one or both of them lose, suddenly the Scarlet Division becomes a hive of chaos, where there's going to be 3-2 teams who don't make the playoffs, and it's going to be a lot. Now, actually, lastly, is the Philadelphia Beedrills versus the Denver Bronzongs. And the Philadelphia Beedrills are in a much similar spot, like I just said about Tampa Bay. And the Denver Bronzongs are probably the best positioned team of all the teams in the league that haven't clinched that are the most likely to clinch. The Denver Bronzongs, if they win, they're in, and because due to the low plus-minus average in the Violet Division, even if they lose, they still have a very high chance of getting in. Denver is probably, I'd say, out of all like the playoff probability when they calculate the percentages, they have the highest playoff percentage of any team that is not clinched. With all that out of the way, all the actual important stuff, feel free to click off now if you want. You get to the Polywow's playoff predictions. This was the playoff picture. Here you get to the playoff predictions and who I think is going to make the playoffs. I think that Ninja is going to be the only 5-0 team in the league this year. He had to do some, let's say, backhanded intimidation tactics to force a couple forfeits his way. But you know what? I've done quite a bit of legal things myself. We all know that. I think it's allowed. I mean, are you going to be the one to tell him no? Are you going to be the one to step up to him? I don't think you are. We have a couple 4-1 teams. We have a couple 0-5 teams. The important thing to point out here is this. I have the Indianapolis Colts winning their game, being 3-2, along with the Buffalo Buffalot, being 3-2 and missing the playoffs, and I have Kansas City Charizards being 2-3 and making the playoffs. This is the division system allows for some funny stuff like that. I obviously have myself in the playoffs because I'm never not going to bet against myself. Well, I'm never not. Okay, I think I said that correctly. I might be stupid. And yeah, I think that should be about it. Those are the playoff tiers. That's the playoff prediction. This will be the big thing to take away. And yeah, thank you for watching the Pokemon Sports League. I've loved this league. I love every part of it. It is easily the most fun I've had in a draft league in my own experience, and I hope to see you all in Season 6. See ya.